Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another trade recap video for the week. Hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. And I'm going to go over the trades that I took this week. I took 3 trades this week and closed down 2, and I still have several trades running. So let's take a look here. Let's start with Cardano. So ADA certainly is moving up to the upside. We talked about the position down here last week when I entered this. I think it was last Friday or last Friday. So about a week now. Um, Trades running beautifully. We had this continuation to the upside. And if you really look closely, there is a lot of lower time frame continuation corrections, and that's how the price was managed to be pushed up more and more and more. So that's kind of what I'm seeing, and we're at this top now where I mentioned this is where I set my target because this is the previous kind of swing high area and price is kind of stalling here. But I do like the price is forming another continuation here. It looks like we're just forming another continuation flag to just potentially continue upwards and break this previous high. So that's what I'll be watching out for. I still will set a target here though, because this trade itself is individually. I'm fine with almost 9% to 1 in terms of profit. I will look for more entry if it breaks up above and then continue more with the continuation, then I will get back in. But for this particular trade, that was my plan. I want to take profit after this long push to the upside. I may see a deeper consolidation, so I'll be looking to see what will happen in this area, in this kind of price action. Are we going to get more bullish price action to just break through, or are we going to start getting into more of a corrective in this sense and then slowly drop down? I don't want to, give back the profit to the market. That's how I manage my trade, especially this kind of a short-term trade where I will like to take profit, right? Because this price has already break up from the previous correction, and this really sharp impulsive phrase is likely to face another continuation, a longer period consolidation before the upside, whether it forms here or it forms when it breaks above that previous high. Okay, so 100 in Bitcoin. I got in another Bitcoin trade up here, so I'll explain this. Since the last weekly outlook, we mentioned about price breaking previous high, all-time high in that matter, right? In this area already, I talk about wait for a price to go continue, wait for continuation. This continuation didn't break this previous high, so I wasn't interested in this. And then we had this surge to the upside, right? And then this is what I mentioned when we break previous high and all-time high, when we for continuation, I don't mind scaling into this buy. I already made 12% almost in this first digital trade. I don't mind risking another 1% here, scaling into another Bitcoin for a long-term hold. And I'm fine with the entry. I'm fine with that. We have just a lower time frame sharp impulse, lower time frame continuation after we break previous high. It's pretty much the same thing here when I mentioned when in this area when we break that 20,000 or all-time high level and price just all it needs was forming a little correction and we just start taking off, right? So same thing here. I'm fine with the entry, fine with the risk. I have a pretty wide stop loss in this one, $5,000. I'm looking for long-term hold, long-term invest in crypto. That's always how my plan was, and that's how I was managed to hold through this initial trade as well when it started making bigger correction. Because I knew that when we break all that high, when we have this massive bullish impulsive phrase, naturally the market needs to correct. It's the same idea when we go over Cardano here after this strong surge to the upside. Naturally, I'm thinking there's going to be a deeper consolidation, right? So it's the same thing as Bitcoin. When I understood that's the likelihood of the price condition, then and if you have a plan in place to hold the trade, you understand you're not day trading this, you're more holding as an investment, and find holding through a deeper continuation correction to correct this move and then looking for the next upside. Okay, so that's Bitcoin still running. So I enter another scale in Bitcoin here. So it's running about, let's say 12% in this and then about break even here. So that's looking to the third trade I took, which is Kiwi Yen. I took a full loss on Kiwi Yen. So let's take a look here. I want to go over from a higher time frame perspective. Um, Higher time frame wise, I mentioned how this could be a potential double top area. Remember, I talk about double top doesn't have to be just bouncing off the line or above or below. It's about how the price is reacting. So at the time when I was looking at this, I looked like it's forming an ascending channel. So it's more corrective rather than an impulsive phrase what we like to see in the market. So going down to the lower time frame here, this is that ascending channel that I talk about. Price is correctly moving up, and we pretty much have a lower time frame double top, and then lower time frame ascending channel. So that adds confluence to from me for a higher time frame double top and ascending channel, lower time frame double top and ascending channel as well. So I like that multi time frame analysis. And if we look closely here, price had this last initial push up, more of a smaller ascending channel within this lower time frame ascending channel. We had the first push down from there and then first continuation correction. So I just opt in with a stop entry order, fine with this type of entry, and I'm just opting for a wider stop loss, knowing that this can form a head and shoulder pattern. So I was expecting at least to, if price was going to pull back to that high, I want to at least be able to take the pullback. And what price did, we dropped down here, and then this looks like it's going to continue more and more and more. I think during the Asia session and then London session and then New York session, we just have this kind of surge to the upside and then eventually just take me out right here. Overall, when I look back at this trade, I was fine with the entry. I was fine with the management. I like the higher time frame kind of bias and confluence. Lower time frame, same thing, double top and ascending channel. So I'm fine with that entry. I think everything to me was aligning up, and I'm fine with an entry here, even though I took a loss. I think that was part of the trading, right? You know, that's how trading is. Sometimes you're going to take losses and how you deal with it accordingly, right? So journal this trade down, understand what I did. Looking back at the trade, no emotional trade, no revenge trading, all that bad influential kind of trading decisions. It's just following your plan, and I'm fine with that. Okay, so that is Kiwi Yen here. Enter at this continuation breakout. Took a full 1% loss here. Last trade I want to go over is dollar yen. Dollar yen was a trade I got in since beginning of February. But I was exit this trade during the week for about 0.5%. So let's take a look here. Higher time frame. Originally, we talked about that this larger ascending channel on the higher time frame, looking pretty promising to continue. And we had this inverse head and shoulder as well, so we popped to the upside. So everything is looking good for a bullish continuation. And lower time frame, remember I mentioned I enter at this lower time frame breakout, price continue up and then push to the upside. And when price started forming something like this, at the time I was looking at, well, are we going to get a continuation correction here to continue upwards, or are we going to start seeing something different now? And during the I think this was last Friday, or sorry, last Friday when we have the NFP, price dropped down to the downside, and then on Monday when I look at the chart, when I see this lower time frame continuation, looking like this is going to go down further. And again, in my plan, I'll move to my break even once we pass the previous high, and then once this continuation did not continue anymore, I opted just to move uh, my stop loss to about 0.5, and then I kind of just manually exit around here once we see this breakdown. So I'm fine again with that management approach. I knew that I wanted to secure some profit for sure after running about 2%. I knew that I didn't want to take a break even. I was either going to set it to 1 to 1 or a 0.5 kind of profit. I was kind of just looking to see if we're going to get a continuation here. So I was like, I didn't want to choke the price with a 1 to 1 stop loss. I opted with the 0.5. But once I see during the Asia session here, when we have this kind of a bearish surge to the downside and then lower time frame continuation, and I knew that this likely to continue downwards more, and I just want to secure a little bit of profit. Um, and that's what happened with my trade. So, like I said, I'm fine with the management. I'm fine with this kind of outcome. But still looking at the higher time frame, still looking at, do we still have a potential for the upside? Yeah, I do think so. We could just be a surge to the upside and then pull back, and then if we just form another continuation, we're likely to continue as well. Okay, so still going to be on my watch list, even though I just exited the trade. Right, this is the difference between uh, being consistent in the market, because you can take a loss here, you can take a break even here, or you can take a small win, but you're still going to look at the overall higher time frame structure and higher time frame potential price action, right? You're not going to deviate from it just because the result wasn't what you expected, but we can't let the short-term result or short-term emotion get the best out of us, get the best out of us, right? Higher time frame wise, this still looks like a corrective structure. We could still see lower time frame breakout from this point forward. Okay, so that is my approach on this. So, uh, took 3 trades this week, right? Closed down dollar yen, closed down Kiwi yen, and then still have a couple of trades running. I have Cardano running. Like I said, I will take profit on this trade if I hit the $1 mark, and then I will look into scale back into the trade if there's going to be a continuation. Okay, and the last one is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still holding from the initial buy here, and then going into this next buy at pretty much end of the last week. Okay, everyone. So any question or comments or feedback, let me know below. And hope you guys enjoy your weekend. And I will chat with you guys next time in my weekly Outlook stream. Thank you very much.